Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. For today's video, I am going to share with you my November budget worksheets, because even though I'm not quite done with my October budget, I'm already thinking ahead to November. It's just a few days away. Maybe you are too. And you can snag these beautiful autumnal themed worksheets in my Etsy shop right now. I'm calling this my Abundance collection. It has so many beautiful fall colors. You can see the pumpkins and the leaves and the apples. It just screams autumn. November is one of my favorite months of the year. It houses my absolute favorite holiday, Thanksgiving, also my birthday, and I'm really excited to be budgeting in November. So I want to show you the worksheets that I have released for the month. I have a couple of different options on my Etsy shop. You can buy a lot of my budget sheets as just an individual worksheet for a handful of dollars. You can buy, for example, just a sinking funds page, just a transaction log. If there's just one or two pages that you need, you can buy them individually. Or you can buy them all bundled up. It's my undated bundle that's available, and it comes with 17 sheets that are all in one file, back to back. You can print them in any order that you want. You can print multiples of certain pages if you want. Really, you can do it any way you want, and it looks like my printer kind of chewed this one up a little bit, but the great thing about having printables is I can always just reprint that page if it doesn't come out right, or if I print them in a different order, or I want to shift things around. So I have available some of the sheets individually for just a couple dollars. I have this big bundle, which is all of my undated worksheets, all for one low price. So let me show you really quickly what all of the undated worksheets look like. As I said, they're all in a file back to back. You can print them back to back so that, you know, they're front and back like a book. You can print them just as an individual page, however you want to do it. There is this budget cover page here that can be used as a cover or as a divider in your planner. I love to print these and then punch them using a big arc punch and put them into a Happy Planner disc bound system. These are all 8.5 by 11 size, so they fit the big Happy Planner perfectly. There's a 2-page undated calendar. So the great thing about the undated bundle is that you can use this any month of the year. So I designed it with November in mind, but if you fell in love with this pattern and you wanted to use it, you know, for the rest of the year, you could do that. You could print a bundle for each month and then just date it yourself. Use this in November, December, January, whenever you want. You can just use an ink pen and write in the dates, or a lot of Etsy shops have monthly stickers that you can buy. So you can really customize it any way you want. It comes with a monthly overview. So again, not date specific. You can use this whenever you want. There's a place here to list your debts if you want to keep track of that, your goals for the month, your credit score. I really like to keep track of my credit score and see it go up and up every month as I am tackling my budget goals. And then there's a little note section here. There is a monthly budget. Maybe you have a pretty small budget. There's just a handful of things you need to keep track of. You can keep track of all your income, all of your bills and expenses, and get your totals. This is like a really simple budget sheet. There are lots of other budget sheets in here as well if you want to get more fancy with it. There's a sinking funds and transaction log. I typically use these in tandem. So I put all of my sinking funds here, their beginning balance, how much I added throughout the month, how much I took away throughout the month, and then my ending balance. And the transaction log I use to keep track of the spending that I did from my sinking funds. You don't have to use it that way though. You can use it any way you want. Also in the bundle, there is a paycheck budget. This is how I have been budgeting as of late. My husband and I get paid weekly, so I just write up a new paycheck budget each week. Helps me keep track of all the money that came in that week, all the money that goes out. And then there's also a cash breakdown. So if you are into cash envelopes, for example, you really like to use cash to stuff envelopes, you can use this page to help you figure out what you need to pull from the bank There's also a little note section here. There is an expense tracker. If you would like to keep track of all of your spending, like a check register, you can do that here. If one page isn't enough, you have the printable, you have the file, you can just print it over and over again. There's a weekly check-in. This is the one that my printer did not like, so I'll be printing a new one of these. You know, sometimes your printer just goes a little wonky, and you just press print again, no problem. So there's a weekly check-in. This you can use to keep track of, say, for example, your grocery budget. Maybe you have a set grocery budget for the month, but you want to keep track of how much you spent each week. So you can just, you know, put grocery in here. The starting balance would be your, you know, how much you have set aside for the week. If you added any money to the fund, what you spent and what's remaining, and then you can take it down to week 2, 3, 4, and so on. Then there's my 2-page hybrid budget. This is the budget system that I created that's kind of a combination between monthly budgeting and weekly budgeting. It's sort of keeping track of like fixed expenses on just a monthly basis and then going in and keeping track of variable expenses week to week. There's a section for savings here, your section for sinking funds, debt payments. I have a ton of YouTube videos on how I use my hybrid budget here on my channel. If you just go to my channel and search hybrid budget, you'll see probably 100 different budgets pop up using this method. It's probably my best seller. A lot of people seem to really like budgeting this way. And so that comes in the bundle as well, but you can also just buy the 2-page hybrid budget individually. It comes with a debt tracker. Maybe you're keeping track of how much debt you have paid throughout the month. That's a good place to do, or that's a good way to use this worksheet here. There's a spending comparison where you can kind of track how much you spent last month on certain categories, how much you spent this month, and you can see the change. That can help you kind of decide what to budget moving forward. And last but not least, there's this pattern paper. I like to print this on the very back of my worksheets so that it's sort of like the end cover, so it kind of makes its own little book here, as you can see. But you could definitely print this on a sheet of paper and fold it into a cash envelope. You can use it as a divider. Really, you can do whatever you want with this. So that is the undated bundle. And as I mentioned, if you want, you know, a transaction log and one page isn't enough, you simply select that page and click and print multiple copies of it. You can shift these around so that they print in different order. The other thing that comes with this bundle that I actually printed separately is the notes page. So the way that I like to lay it out in my planner is I will punch this side of the notes page, and that will come right before the start of my budget. That way I can keep track of any notes that I have, anything I need to remember throughout the month. And then it goes right into the budget from there. It's just the way I like to do it. You can do it any way you want. So that's the undated bundle. Like I said, a lot of these pages you can get individually as well. Not all of them, because when I offered them all as individual pages, there were some that just didn't sell. So I took those down. There's no sense in keeping them up in my shop if no one's going to buy them. But if you see a page here that you really like, that you want to be able to buy as just an individual one-sheet download, and it's not available in my Etsy shop, you can just send me a message through Etsy and I can get it up for you. I'm happy to do that. So that's the undated bundle. I also have a dated add-on. So this replaces the first 4 sheets, technically 2 pages in this case because they're back to back, but the first 4 sheets of the undated bundle and turns it into a little budget packet that's specifically dated for November. So rather than the budget sheet, you can simply replace it with the November sheet. The undated calendar in here can be exchanged for this dated calendar, which has all of the dates for November. And then you've got the November overview rather than just the monthly overview. So if you know you want to use this in November, you'd like to have everything already dated, you don't want to have to add your own dates, you can buy the add-on for just a couple of dollars, switch out those couple of pages from the undated bundle, and make it specifically for November. That's what a lot of people do when they purchase from my shop. They'll purchase the undated bundle and they'll purchase the dated add-on, so they have absolutely everything they need for November. And that's what I do as well. I really like to have my calendar dated, for example. I know that if I go to put my own dates in, it's going to be sloppy, so it's already printed. It matches perfectly with the color scheme this way, and I think it's worth it to print these couple of extra pages to make my spread complete. So those are all of the worksheets. I will link my Etsy shop down below if you are interested in getting worksheets like this for your November budget. November is right around the corner. It is not too late in the year to begin your budget journey. These worksheets have really helped me to stick with my budget when I use them, and they've helped a lot of other people as well. I get comments and messages all the time saying how much my budget worksheets have helped people. So, you know, you can just purchase them, download them at home, print them as many times as you want. You will not get anything mailed to you physically. These are all printables. It's great because then you can print them over and over again. You can use them month after month after month if you want. And it makes for a really good value, especially we're all on a budget. Sometimes buying like pre-printed worksheets like this can be very expensive. You pay for the worksheets, you pay for the shipping. This way, you can just print them out as many times as you want at home and really help you to stick to your budget. So that is it. I'm going to be setting up my November budget here very soon, so make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already so you can come back and see how I plan to use these worksheets in November. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you real soon with a budget video. Bye, friends!